it's Val, and I'm going to put some music on. Let's see if I can find it. Just had it there. It's a good choice of song today. Hello Christina, lovely to see you. Good choice of song today. Hello, please let me know who you are. Say hello. Nice to see you. A couple of you on there. Hello. I chose this song. It came. Hello, Ian. This came up and I thought, oh, that sounds appropriate for this evening. I'll just play a little bit more until everybody gets in. Hello, Bella. Hello, Tina. Witchy woman. I'll explain why I put this on. It is a beautiful place, Christina. I'm very, very lucky. Okay. Hello, Tara. Hello, Helen. Thelma. Thelma, you're a new name. Thank you. Hello. Your girl is good, Bella. I'll explain why I've got this song on in a minute, so I'll wait for another chorus. I love it, I love it, I love it. Hello everybody, lovely to see you. Let me just put this on pause. All right, there we go. Hello, hello, hello. It's nice to see so many of you immediately, and I'm glad that I was on on time this evening as well. I'm all over the place here. Tara, hello. Helen, over there in Adelaide, thereabouts. Bella, oh Bella, you're so sweet. Hello Kelly, you're another new name. Nice to see you. So Thelma and Kelly and anybody else that's new, let me know where you've come from, because we get regular people that come all the time. It's really nice to see some new names. So just let me know who you are and where you've come from, and did you see my posts, or do you know me, or whatever. Anyway, let me know. So Witchy Woman, why did I choose that? I was going through all the different songs that I've got, and the number of times I've been called a witch because of what I do, which I think is very unfair. Although probably in the whatever century it was when they were burning witches at the stake, I probably would have been burnt at the stake for. In fact, I actually did a past life regression. I don't know if any of you understand about that, but I did a past life regression. Took me through various lifetimes, and one of them was my mother and I were medicine people and healers. So we used to make potions for people, and it was deemed to be witchcraft, so we got burnt at the stake. So every time somebody calls me a witch, I think it's quite funny. But several years ago I decided that I would have a tattoo, and some friends of mine, we all had a bit of a discussion as to what would be the appropriate tattoo for me to have, and the the consensus of opinion at the time was a witch. So I actually have the tattoo of a witch on a broomstick, silhouetted by the moon. And it's very lovely, and only I can see it unless I want somebody to see it. So yes, Wicked Witch of the West. Oh Bella, you are funny. So Thelma, you're from Sydney. I'm not sure if I've met you, and if I have, I apologise, but I can't remember the name. But anyway, gosh, hasn't the weather been really shocking in the last couple of days? I think I've got visitors at the moment. That's my cousin and her husband, and we have been blown all over the place with the weather. Anyway, so welcome to all of you. I'm really, really happy to see you all here. It's actually really exciting to come on here every week, and I always think, what am I going to talk about? And don't forget, I need questions from you. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't, I'll tell you I can't, but I'll try and find out. So what questions have you got pertaining to spiritual stuff? And what have you been up to? Let me know what you've been up to. And yes, what have you been up to? What have you been doing? You got you got the fire on, Bella. Oh, I can imagine, because it is actually a bit cooler this evening, and even though we're in the middle of summer, it's still not very wonderful, is it? I'm just trying to turn off something in the background here, which is making funny noises, but there we are. Anyway, so here I am, and here comes my cousin Jackie. She's going to join me. So I'll send you some nice warm hugs, Bella. Oh, your monkey got dragged out the other day, Bella. It's a very popular little thing that gets dragged out in the house here. So you're doing readings in person in Sydney now. I'd like to see you, but my internet is playing up. Okay, Christina, I'm also doing house parties, so I can come to your home and do a group of 8 to 10 people. So if you're interested in that, just let me know. My web address and my email address are all going across the bottom of the screen there. Bella says to say hello, Jackie. And I won't call her Jack because she doesn't like it, Bella, so it's proper Jackie. And Kelly, you're from Adelaide. So have I met you? That's what I want to know. Have I met you? So yeah, Bella Monkey, that's right. Yep, she's behind me. Sounds like a pantomime, Ian. Okay, oh, a bit croaky tonight, sorry. Sometimes I get like harmony type humming in my right ear. Have you heard of this? All the time, all the time. Many years ago, a beautiful young man who's not so young anymore sent me a poem, and it was, it's called Voices in Your Ear, and it talks about the ringing and the humming. Mine are ringing like crazy at the moment, and for me, that is an indication that Spirit's with me. So what have I missed? What am I supposed to be doing? What have I done wrong? So you need to just acknowledge that, Thelma. Don't try and discount it, but just acknowledge it, especially if you're spiritual as well. So Christina, you're in, Christina, you messaged me earlier on. Sorry, you're in Wangaratta. Yep. Bella, yes, consider yourself chastised. Tara, Thelma, Tara's saying to you, Thelma, that she's had this a lot in the last week. It's amazing, actually, because, sometimes I don't hear it, and then other times it's, whoa, what on earth, okay, what have I missed? What am I supposed to be doing? But I always acknowledge it and try and pay attention. And I think that's very important. Ian says to say hello, Jackie, as well. So Jackie and I are cousins. She's been in the background on my things before. And Jackie's mum and my dad were brother and sister, so that's how we're connected. And she's been in Australia a very long time. Bella has ringing all the time. And Bella, when you were doing the spiritual stuff, you were amazing. So you've got that ability. Okay, so let me know what you've been up to. We've been traipsing around doing some sightseeing, and it's been blustery, and we got very wet today and Sunday. We went down to see Little Nippers. So my little granddaughter, who's only 6, was in the races again this week, and like last week, she won the first 3 races without even a consideration. She was amazing. She got the longest legs and runs like a gazelle, is what I want to say. Okay, so Leanne Bear is from New South Wales. Still grieving for my mum I lost 17 months ago. And do you know what I would say to you, Leanne? Nobody can tell you when that grieving should stop. That is entirely up to you. I get so upset when people say, they say, oh, get over it, get on with life, and for goodness sake, stop being silly. Well, there's nothing silly about grieving. And we all do it in our own unique way. And, all I would say to you, Leanne, is know that your mum is around you, and just talk to her as if she's in the same room as you. And I think you'll be very surprised by what you hear, what you see, what comes to you. So, if you ask questions, you'll get your answers. It'll be either something you see, something you read, something you hear, something you pick up. I always know when I pick up feathers, okay, I know there's somebody around me and I need to be paying attention. So please, Leanne, take your time with your grieving. Talk to mum. You know, this is like when you talk to somebody in the spirit world, it's like having a telephone conversation. And I think it is very important to remember that even though, you know, you're talking to somebody on the telephone, you can't see them, but you can hear them. And that's exactly the same as when we're connecting to spirit. So your spirit loved ones are around you at all times. They are very discreet, by the way. So they are around you at all times, and they just want you to acknowledge that they're there. So as I said, you ask questions, you ask them to show themselves, or ask them to show you that they're around, or ask them a question where they can answer it easy or easier, and then just wait for your answer. And I think you'll be very, very impressed with what you get. So Tara's just said, my grandfather in spirit has been telling me to do Tai Chi. Oh, it's all right for him when he's in spirit having a rest. So I finally began doing self-taught classes online. Well done, Tara. And she says, I love it. Turns out my grandfather was a Tai Chi instructor and I had no idea. You know, that is so incredible when things like that happen. You know, why do these things come to us? Yeah, I just think it's fabulous. I love it when I get songs in my head and I know that it's my dad because it's his type of song. You know, it's really lovely. There was something, I was on Brett's church last Tuesday, and he played Climb Every Mountain, and the other one is Moon River. And as soon as those songs come on, I know it's my dad in the background. So brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so I completed a huge order of candles for my beautiful butcher. Well done, Bella. That's an amazing job. And my present, oh, you're naughty. So it's my birthday a week tomorrow. I'm 21 again. And if you believe that, you'll believe anything. But I would love you to believe it, please. Okay, so more questions. I need questions. That's very important. What have you got that you want to ask? And also your names for healing, because they go in my beautiful healing book. And I'm on book number 2 now, thanks to Bella, which is this one here. And it's the Amber Lynn prayer book. So for me, it's very special. But the names all go in that book, and they get thought of and the names sent out to spirit all the time. So it's regularly through the week. So I want to talk about training. When you do training or you want to learn mediumship, why do you want to do it in the first place? What is it that you expect from your training? Have any of you done any mediumship training in the past, and has it come up to expectations or not? Have you been disappointed? Have you expected more? I would be really, really quite happy to hear that. I always ask people when they come to me for workshops, what have you done? What do you expect out of this? What do you want to go on to do with your mediumship? If you want to do anything, some people do want to carry on mediumship, and some do it in their privacy of their own home. Some would do one-on-ones, and some will do public work. And public work is not for everybody because it takes an awful lot of courage and what's the other word? Courage and I can't think. Anyway, it takes a lot of courage to get up in front of an audience and be able to speak in public without falling or failing or whatever. Anyway, I'm being distracted in the background there. So let me know, what would you expect from mediumship training? Yeah, that confidence is the word that I was thinking of, but determination, absolutely. You need so much determination, because you'll have a good day and then you'll have a bad day. Then you'll have a half good day, then you'll have a bad day. And it's very up and down, but you've got to keep at it. You've got to, for me, it's a calling. You don't give up on it because it's something that's in your soul. And I wrote something. I was woken up at 3:30 the other morning, and Spirit gave me some words, and the words were, hold on, let me find them. is this a contract that you signed up to? Because we come into this world and we actually have already signed a contract, if you like, with the spirit world about what we're going to do, what we're going to achieve in this lifetime. So did you sign up for spirituality? Did you sign up to be a medium? Did you sign up to be a healer? Did you sign up to give people the warmest hugs and help and smiles? You know, because sometimes that's enough. That's good enough to be healing. I'm missing all the questions up here. Christina, I have a relationship. Having relationship problems. I was on a drive with my mum and this van stopped beside us and a song came on that my partner always sang to me. My love for him has stopped. And it's heartbreaking. I want to love him again. Do you know what? Sometimes we need to remember this, Christina. People come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And maybe that relationship was not meant to be the lifetime. Maybe there is a reason, or it was just for a season. And that's something that you have to take on board. And don't be sad and don't be heartbroken. You know, just look at it and put it behind you and go, well, what have I learned from that relationship? What have I got from that person? And then encompass that and really enjoy that feeling, but then allow yourself to move on. And if you come back together, that's fine, and if you don't, that's also fine. So Tara has said, when you I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. No. Okay, so Tara, ooh. You lot are talking too quickly to me. Okay, Tara has said, when you meet a developing medium, are you aware of what kind of work would best suit them, either now or in the future? Absolutely, yes. It's actually interesting because when you meet somebody who says, I want to do this work, you get a feel for whether they're going to be capable of being on a stage. A lot of times when people do stage work, they've actually had experiences of something in front of an audience before. And you know that sometimes people are going to be the quiet little, and I'm not being disrespectful, but the quiet little mousy person that's just going to be a gentle little healer in the background, but will be able to do such incredible work with that. You know, I used to be very shy, didn't I? I did. I used to be very shy, and something changed in my life, and I suddenly realized, you know, there's a lot more in this world, there's a lot more to life than I'm getting, and I want to actually go out there and get it. So I've learned over the years to read other people. Coming back to your question, Tara, and it's funny, you know, I've got the courses. I'll talk about them in a minute. I've got the courses, new courses coming up, and they're beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And everybody's going, I want to be an advanced student. And I'm thinking, okay, you need to go back and learn some of those intermediate skills beforehand, because with this work, we've got to make sure that we've got every base covered, because if we haven't, then when we get to doing some work and we've missed a couple of the bases, we're going to fall. So we've got to make sure that we get a full grasp of everything. So that's important. So yes, Tara, I think after 30 years of working with people and teaching people, I've got a fair idea when I meet somebody where they're going to be and what they're going to be doing. As I said, some people's expectations of themselves are far greater than my expectations of them, but you know, it's only because they want to run before they can walk, and that is again another fall, another disaster, and it's something that people have to overcome. So I hope that answers that question. And you know, Tara, the same as I do, and anybody else that has the experience. Platform work, Ian's on here, I know. Platform work is not easy, because you've got not only not only are you dealing with your mediumship, so you've got your nerves, and you're listening to spirit. Am I getting this right? Am I giving the right information? In the meanwhile, you're going like this because you're so scared, and all you want to do is to run the opposite way, and then so you're dealing with that. You're dealing with your nerves. You're dealing with an audience member or a recipient that's going, no, no, no. And that's so frustrating, because you know when you're connected to spirit that if you're connected correctly, then you know that you're right. So dealing with a difficult audience or a difficult recipient. Oh, I'm coughing again. Dealing with hecklers and people who keep saying no. You may just be with the wrong person. So it's all of those things that you've got to take into consideration. And as I say, platform mediumship is really difficult, because you're so hung up on the kind of I've got to get it, I've got to get it right, that you tie yourself in a knot and you end up not doing the right thing. One of the things that I've been trying to teach my students is to, take a big deep breath, count to 10, and just gently go into the flow. And I know a couple of weeks ago, Ian, who is on here tonight, he didn't get it wrong, but he didn't describe it in the right way. So the recipient was not understanding, although what he was giving was correct. So remember, when we give information from the spirit world, so we've got spirit, we've got us, who it's coming through, and then we've got the recipient. So it's a three-way process, and sometimes it gets lost in translation. And it's another language, so I call it the language of spirit. And sometimes you'll get a little inflection wrong on a word. Do you know, that reminds me, I started teaching myself Greek and I went to Greece, and I was talking to this little old lady on a pier where there were lots and lots of people who were sunbathing. And there are two words which are very, very similar. And one means alone. I'm not going to tell you what the other one was, but it was definitely not alone. And everybody on this pier just fell about laughing. And somebody quietly whispered in my ear what I just said. Oops. So, but spirit language is exactly the same. Sometimes we get it wrong, and we have to go back to spirit. And this all happens in a flash. You have to go back and say, I got that wrong. Give it to me in a way that they will understand it. And spirit will do their absolute best to make sure that that happens. So, okay. So Kelly, okay, you were in Port Adelaide. Oh my gosh, that's a long time ago. You did one class and you really enjoyed it. Well, that's nice. I'm hoping to come back to Adelaide, and I'm working on some dates with Elizabeth Spiritualist Church. So I know you're a bit further down, but anyway, we'll keep you posted with that. And if any of you haven't signed up for my newsletter, please go to my website and sign up for the newsletter. And then every time a newsletter goes out, you will get all the latest information. So all the information is whizzing across the screen here. Yes, Kelly, you can put your name down for healing. I will do it immediately. And I will make sure it goes in my beautiful book. Okay, so questions and healing, that's good, we're getting there. So what else do you expect when you do mediumship training? It'll be interesting with you, Kelly. What did you expect when you came for the workshop? And I know you said you really enjoyed it, but it's nice to know, what did you actually get out of it? And then were you able to put any of that into practice at all? I know with a lot of the training that I did over the years, it actually helped me in my everyday life, just dealing with certain things. Hello, Roger, lovely to see you again. Bella said she signed up to be a teacher. Hopefully I can change one little life like your beautiful Margaret did to you. Do you know, it's really interesting, Bella, because I think it doesn't matter what work you do. I say that with the work that I do. If I go into a hall and I've got 400 people in an audience and I touch one person, then I've done the job that I was meant to do. And I know, Bella, as a teacher in the future, you're going to touch so many souls because you're just that sort of a person. So I would say, watch out, world, here she comes, and she's going to be doing lots of sharing of love as well as everything else that you share, because you've got such a huge heart, Bella. So Roger, I couldn't make a comment about your camper van. It looks lovely, but it's a shame it's a bit bigger than mine, but never mind. I didn't want to have a big one. I just wanted the nice comfortable size that I could drive. I'm hoping to get out in the next couple of weeks. So I wanted to talk about my courses. I know I keep bringing them up, but Suzanne Fisher for healing. Hello, Suzanne. Nice to meet you. And I'm not sure if I've seen you before, but Suzanne, I will put your name on the healing list, most definitely. Okie dokie. So I've got some new courses coming up which start in March, and I've had a great response so far. But I've got 3 courses: beginners, intermediate and advanced, and I'm only taking 10 students per level. And the reason that I'm breaking it down this time is as I mentioned earlier on, I really think it's important that we have such a thorough knowledge of each level, no matter what you do, whether you're a doctor, a plumber, a car mechanic, or a medium. If you don't have proper, thorough, basic information, then you can't do the job that you need to do. So, and that's what I want to teach. So we've got 36 hours of teaching, 36 hours. And oh, Bella, you might have to get me another one. Plenty of homework, so you have to go home and do your own research and send your homework in. There will be live demonstrations with real live audiences as well, which is the best way to practice on real live audiences. And for the last 2 years, I've been doing I've got to put the right teeth in. Jackie, you've got mine. We've been doing DEMS for the last 2 years with the students, and it's been amazing because they have learnt so much and they've grown so much. One of my students the other week did a DEM and she said, I can't believe I had the courage to do it, and I can't believe you got me to do it, but I also can't believe how well I did. So, you know, with the right encouragement and the right people behind you, you can do anything you want to do. If you want to do it badly enough. It's like, you know, years ago I was a singer. You had to practice. I was a piano player, organ player, violin player, and it's screech all the time. But the more practice you put in, the better you get, and that goes for everything in life, as well as your mediumship. So the more practice, the more people you practice on, and I say to the students, practice on your friends, but ask for permission first. But there's going to be also 1 per week. You have to partner up with one of the students and do a reading, a proper reading, a full reading for that person, and then each of you have to write a report as to, you know, did they get that right, was that wrong, what could they have done better. Tara said she's nervous and excited about the DEMS. Well, do you know what, I will admit that after 30 years plus of doing this work, every time I do my live, every time I do a workshop, every time I do a show or a church, I'm so nervous. Somebody said to me many years ago, don't ever lose the nerves, because then you become complacent, and that's something that you can't afford to have when you're doing mediumship, because that means that you then come from a place of ego, and ego has to be parked where? Does anybody know? I'm just wondering if anybody's listening and paying attention. We get a bit delayed. So ego has to be planted or parked on the wall, and then you create that open channel for spirit to be able to give that information directly to you. And if you keep your ego in the way, it does exactly that. It gets in the way. And then that's exactly right, Bella, on the wall. There's a great M&M's advert, by the way. And the guy opens the cupboard and says, get in the bowl, and the M&M says, you get in the bowl, and he says, no, you get in the bowl. So we've changed it to get on the wall, but it works. And every time I say that to them, they go, oh yeah, I'm back in my own head. But once you get in your own head, you're thinking about it. It's your mind, not the information from spirit, and not the mind of spirit, and not the energy of spirit. So we need to remember that you know, that practice is very important. Get on the wall, get out the way, park your ego, and let spirit do the talking. So very important. So don't ever lose the nerves, Tara, because they are vital. They really are. But you know, the thing that I find is, as soon as I start talking, when I'm doing a reading, or whether I'm doing a show or a dem, whatever you want to call it, as soon as I start, Val is over there and Spirit is they've just taken over. And you know, in between, Val comes back and then the next one happens, and it's you're pushed out of the way, and I love that. And I also know that happens when I get to the end of a demonstration and I go, well, what did I say? What was that all about? And then the nerves come back. So in between, when you've parked yourself on the wall and Spirit's doing all the work, they take the nerves with that as well, because they're not nervous. They're just excited because they're going to get 5 more minutes with their loved ones. So, which is wonderful. I wanted to just say, Tina, I saw happy birthday to Paul this week. So I was sending out happy birthdays to him as well. And also big hugs to you too. I've got a lot to thank you for, actually, Tina, because you were one of I know you came to me. I was the first medium that you came to, and I've mentioned this before, but you know, when you came in and I thought, oh my gosh, this lady, what am I going to do, what am I going to do, because you were so distraught is the only word I can think of. But when you left my house, you were 10 feet tall and you skipped out with the biggest smile on your face, and that's what's so wonderful with that connection to Spirit. You know that your loved one is still there. You just know it. I did 2 readings this week for people who not only wanted to connect to their loved ones but were having difficulties in their own lives, and then at the end of the reading they go, right, okay, I'm ready to get going, I'm ready to do this. And that is also a very, very special part of the work that we do. So it's not only connecting people to their loved ones, but it's giving them upliftment, motivation, encouragement, whatever you can, the hope, the love, whatever you can, to keep them going and to make them happy, but to also make them see their lives in a better light and in a better vein. Sometimes things are so dark and we're so entrenched in that darkness that we can't see out. I know I've been in that situation, and it was spiritualism, it was mediumship, it was my church that got me out of that hole, and I am totally grateful forever because of that. Hello Kathy, you're obviously late, but we will not hold that against you. It's lovely to see you. Yep. Now Tara, that's an interesting one. I'll get out of my own way and surrender to Spirit. So it was funny because it was not that long ago, and I was having a bit of an argument with Spirit about what I was doing. Shall I still do this, and what about that? And oh, Ali, you're late too. But you're here, that's the most important thing. But I was having these arguments and not sure whether I was supposed to be still doing this or whatever. And one day I just went, okay, I know you're here, I know I'm supposed to be doing this work, just bring it on. Whatever you've got to give me, bring it on, and I will deal with that. And it was almost like I was challenging the spirit world, and it was one of the best things I think I've ever done, because it just made me I can see it now. It's almost like, get out of the way, Val, just tell them they've got to get on with it. It's your job, please show me what. Yeah, there is somebody right behind me. Ali, no, it's a ghost. It's my cousin Jackie, if anybody hasn't seen her. Okay. Yeah, so it is really, really important that getting out of your own way and then challenge Spirit. You know, in everyday work, you know, we can challenge the people that we work with. We can ask questions. We're not happy with that, but what about this and what about that? And we can do exactly the same with the spirit world. If you're not clear on something, you ask them. If you're not happy with something, you tell them. And it really, really is important, because, okay, I'm here doing I'm going to tell you, Spirit, as you know, sent me to Australia. If you didn't know, they did. They sent me to Australia, and that is another story. And during the 6-year period of, is the visa happening? Yes, it is. No, it's not. I've got to go home, sell all the stuff. No, it's okay. It's back on again. And I remember standing there one day and said, what are you doing? You told me that I had to come here. Now pull your finger out and make this happen. And I think I did that on more than one occasion. So poor old Spirit will get it a bit in the ear from me every now and again. But you know, if you have, like I said, you've made a contract to come here and do a particular job, which is working with spirit, and if you want to do that work, then it's a two-way contract, and you've got to do the hard work the same as spirit's got to do the hard work, and you've got to meet somewhere in the middle. That's why it's important to have these conversations with them and say, oi, pull your finger out, I need to have this information right now, not in 10 minutes time, please. So you know, I want it my students laugh because I do this all the time when I'm working, and I say to spirit, I want the biggest and the best, and I want it now, don't make me look a fool, please. And I've got all the students doing that as well. So okay, there was something else. I love the fact that you put that, Ali, that is so funny. Is there anybody there? I have a question. I've picked up on a rather morbid penchant for watching true crime documentaries, i.e. murders. Should I ask spirit if there's a lesson in here? No, because a murder film is a murder film, and or a documentary. It's nothing to do with connecting to spirit. That is something completely different. And do you know what? There's a very, very fine line. Some people have a fine line between being sane working with this work and being not sane doing this work, and sometimes, you know, it is really, really hard, because, you know, you question, I'm talking to dead people, am I really talking to dead people, is somebody talking to me, is it a voice in my head? I know many years ago my mum was a mental health nurse, and when I first started doing this work, she said they used to put people in the padded cell for what you do and lock them up. So there is a very, very fine line. But you know what, as long as you mix with like-minded people and that you keep it on a level, and if you have any difficulties whatsoever, you go to somebody that you trust, and then you ask, you know, am I on the right path? Am I doing this correctly? What about this? And how do I deal with that? Like Bella has just done about the Netflix programs on murders. No, 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 no. And they're true crime documentaries. Do you know, if you watch some of those, it makes you question people's minds, and just don't do it, Bella, because it's too hard. Okay, so is that your spirit guides? So what do you mean by that, Thelma? The people that I'm talking to? Because I speak to my spirit guides, I speak to all my family, I speak to anybody in the spirit world that wants to speak to me. They're probably fed up with me, but anyway, I speak to anybody. And you know, somebody said to me, do you know who your spirit guides are? And I went, no. And somebody said, you don't need to know who they are, you just know that they work with you. And they are not the people who do this work, by the way. They are the facilitators. They help in the background for that person to come in and talk to that person, and then for that message to be given across. So they are the facilitators, not the ones. You see these people sometimes, I've seen some in the past, you know, and they've got a guide called Fred. All right, Fred. Yeah, okay, Fred. All right, I'm listening, Fred. And that is all showmanship. So I don't do that. I know my spirit guides are with me. I know they're helping me, but I don't need to talk to them in that way. People have said, oh, you've got a funny Chinese man, and funny as in he's hilarious. And then your nan's by the side of you and they can see the outline of her and things like that. So it's our nan. Jackie gets annoyed because I've got all the spooky genes in the family. But she's got other talents which I don't have. Okay, so yes, when you say spirit told you to come to Australia, okay, it was, I'll quickly tell you, Thelma, I was in a very bad place and I was in the UK, and everything was going, no money, no job, no nothing. And I heard spirit say to me very, very clearly, you have to give up your business, you have to give up your home, you have to give up your country, and we want you to go to Australia to teach. So I'm standing there because I was very upset at the time and I was really beside myself as to what I was going to be doing. And I remember having a physical screaming match with the spirit world and saying, how on earth is that going to happen? I've got no skills, no qualifications, I'm too old. And on I went. Anyway, I decided that if they have asked me to do this, then I need to put something in place. And I just read The Secret. Funnily enough, I've just done my new vision board, which, oh, it's up on my board. And that was something else that I read in The Secret. It was the most life-changing book for me, and I remember thinking, well, if Spirit has asked me to do this, I've got to be proactive and see if I can make it happen my way and they make it happen their way. I've got Spirit close to me, so my nose is itching. So I put in my diary that I was going to Australia the following year, and I wrote a line, I drew a line through every day in November and put Australia. And it was weird how I won't go into it now, but it was weird how it all came about. I didn't go that November, I went the following February, and the rest is history. It's been hard, but that's why I had the argument with Spirit about, I've done my bit, you do your bit. And it's very much a two-way relationship, the work, but you've got to have, as Bella said earlier on, that determination, that courage to keep going. So as I also said, sometimes you'll have an up day and sometimes you'll have a down day. And what am I doing this for? The number of times. Hello, Kate, and congratulations to you, by the way. That was fabulous achievement, especially, in view of the circumstances on Sunday morning. So really, really proud of you, Kate. Kate did a mediumship demonstration first time on her own at Elizabeth Spiritualist Church, and that's such a daunting thing to do, but you did it, and that was brilliant. And I'm sure Margaret is your guide and guardian angel, Bella. All our loved ones are guardian angels, and we just have to know that they're still around us because they want to be, because they love us, they care. If they weren't nice to us when they were here, they've got some making up to do, so of course they're going to stick around us. So I was talking about the coming to Australia, and that took such a lot of courage and determination. We can't believe it. It happened, can we? But I was also going to say, not only did I nearly give up on doing this whole coming to Australia, but I've nearly given up on the mediumship as well, because people in this line of work can be really cruel and nasty. Whether they mean to be or not, I don't know. And sometimes you think, what am I doing this for? What? I'll go and find another job, I'll go and work in a pub or something. But then you realise that there is so much to this work, and that is only one person that's just unhinged you. So I'm a bit unhinged anyway, aren't I? But you have to try and stay as calm and as balanced as you possibly can. And I can tell you from me, it's not always easy. Sometimes even doing a reading is hard, because you could have a really difficult person and you think, oh, I'm not doing this again. Or you could do a reading for somebody and it's so emotional and you think, I can't deal with this. This is too close to the heart. But if you're meant to be doing this work, then you are meant to be doing this work. As you were, Kate, you've got up there and you've done it, you've stuck with it. And do you know what? I remember the nerves. You wouldn't even look at me, let alone get up on platform or talk in front of anybody else. So for you to stand on a public platform and do that, I feel very honoured to have been part of that training. I know others have as well. But very, very proud of the fact that you've done that and you've kept going. My beautiful friend Jenny Doherty, good morning to you. She's awake but not quite with it. We went to the blowhole in Kiama today, and I've taken a photograph for you because it was just magnificent. The wind and the waves are incredible, and it was just going right up in the sky. It was incredible. So it made me think of that lovely trip that I had there, and my beautiful shell jewellery box that you got for me. Yeah, well done to Kate. It is Bella. She's done a great job. An awful lot of things overcome, which is important. JC's lurking in the background. I love that. I love lurking. But just want you to know I needed to hear this today. Yay! Well, whatever it is you need, JC, sometimes we have to give ourselves a bit of a kick up the bum and say, okay, I'm doing it. And know that you've got people around you. And JC, and any of you, if you've got a situation where you think, I don't know what I'm going to do, get in touch with me. Send Val Hood an email and say, I just need a little bit of direction. I just need, and it's not a reading, and it's just, I need a bit of encouragement. I need something. You send me an email and I promise you I'll answer you. You're so grateful for me in your life and that workshop that I did with you in Elizabeth. And it was so funny when I think about that now. You were scared witless. You ran out of the hall at one point. Anyway, but I mean it. If anybody listening to this has anything they want to ask, please let me know, and I promise you I'll do my best to answer. I don't know all the answers, but I try my best. And as I said, when I've had the experience of people, not nice people, saying not nice things, and even the people who taught me, some of them were and then it makes you think, well, I don't know whether I'm supposed to be doing this work. But you know, spirit is stronger than, that's an interesting thing, thank you. Spirit is stronger than those people, but those people are sent there to test you. So don't forget that. I think that's a rather nice phrase that I've just been given. So spirit are there to, I've already forgotten what it was because it's just gone straight in and straight out. But remember that there is always somebody that's been in the same situation as you. Okay, so just know that if you have an issue about anything, just whiz Val Hood an email and I promise you I will answer you. Lorraine. Tut, 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 tut. I hope you're well, Lorraine, and I'm hoping that your brother's okay as well. Yeah, and I want to say to you, Lorraine, well done with helping Kate to get where she's got to this week as well. I know you've been very, very diligent and I would say patient as well, because teaching, you have to have a lot of patience, but you've done a great job, and I know that she's done a great job. And Lorraine, you're skew whiff anyway, so we all love you the way you are, so it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm really I'm hoping to come over in July, but I've got to work out some other dates before I can actually get to that point. But anyway, leave it with me and I promise you I'll let you know. So I was talking about my courses, 36 hours of teaching, homework, and it's weekend courses. So it's okay, I'll say that to Pat as well. I'll say well done to Pat. So it's 4.5 hours on a Saturday and Sunday, once a month for 4 months. So you get 36 hours of training, and it will be so in depth. And you know, any of you that have had training with me know that I don't let you get away with anything lightly. I'll make you work hard, but you get an awful lot out of it at the end, or in the long run. So what else do we do? Public platform. We learn about the pioneers, because I think it's important to learn about the history. Why are we doing this, and why are we able to do this? And you think about the people who started off. Sorry, I've got to come back to pioneers in a second, because there is somebody under my desk pulling my toe. Okay, sorry?
It's a little bit kinky.
It's not. It's a little child that's under the desk pulling my toe. So it's a spirit child, which I think is quite funny. So pioneers, they had to do it hard. You know, they were all strip searched before they did a demonstration or a show or whatever, because people thought that they were fraudulent. A lot of them were. But we want to make sure that we're doing this as honestly and sincerely as we possibly can, because we've got to remember the ethics and the responsibility that goes with this work. You know, coming back to people like Tina that I dealt with all of those years ago when Tina's son died. You know, I've heard some terrible, terrible things that people have been told, and I won't have it. And I will stop you in mid-tracks if you start saying anything that I don't agree with, or don't agree with the way you're saying it. So, as I said, be prepared for some fairly, what's the word I want to look at? I'm going to say tough teaching, but with a lot of love and heart. So that's probably the best way of saying it. So what is the best way for you to work? You know, not every teacher is right for you. Not every teacher has what you're looking for, and that's something that you have to bear in mind also. Mm. I've done the same over the years. You know, I've sat with certain people and then thought, I'm not actually learning anything anymore. I need to move on. And don't be afraid to do that. If you feel that you've come to and you've plateaued, then it probably is time to move on. And then you just say, I'm going to leave the group because nothing personal, but I just feel as if I've come to the limit here. You don't have to tell them that you're going to go on and find another teacher. You know, you don't have to be hurtful to anybody, but just go and do your research. And again, ask people like myself or Lorraine or JC or, you know, any of the people that do this work on a regular basis. Just go and ask them, who would you recommend? I know lots of people have come to me in the past and asked me who would they recommend. Yes, and also I've got down here what's the best way for you to work, and each one of us will be different. Each one of us will be different. So what I'm looking for is not what Ian's looking for, or what Bella's looking for, or what Lorraine's looking for, but the teacher needs to meet the needs of each of the students. My voice is going, which is you had that earlier on, didn't you? So do I find it the other way as well? Ian, what do you mean by that? Because that might have been said a little while ago, but just come back with me on that one and I will I will tell you. So what I'm trying to do with these courses is teach you from basics and learning all about energy. What is energy? How do you feel energy? How do you see energy? How do you touch energy? How is that energy relevant to spirit? How do we see the energy of spirit then? So we move on to the aura, the chakras, healing. So we're encompassing an awful lot of things here. And then we're learning about psychic and then spirit, and working psychically and spiritually is totally different because you're working with completely different energies. So I want to make sure that you are, okay, I'll come back to that, that you are giving the spirit, well, you're doing the spirit world justice, that you're giving information that the spirit world are giving to you, and you're giving it directly. You're not making it fit to you. You're giving what the spirit world are giving to make that message proper for the recipient. So oh, absolutely. I understand what you're saying now. Do you find it the other way, as in I can't work with people? Yes, I've had students where I think I'm sending out the energy that they don't sign up for another course, because some people can be really difficult. Some people think they know everything, and some people think that they know more than you do. Now that annoys the life out of me, because when mediums have not had any training, and I've had 30 plus years of training with some incredibly brilliant teachers, I must say, then, you know, what right have you got to tell me that I'm doing this wrong? So, but then by the same token, I can't say that they're doing it wrong either, because some people are, they call themselves natural, but I still believe that even if you've got natural talents, you need to learn how to hone the skills. You know, so I can play the piano, but I can't play Beethoven's Fifth Concerto or Fifth Symphony, because I don't know all the notes, and I don't know where the notes are on the stave. I don't know where the notes are on the piano. So every single one of us need to learn everything to do with anything we're learning. That probably doesn't make any sense, but yes, it's difficult sometimes. Some people, you think, oh, for goodness sake. And I had an absolute classic one a couple of years ago, and she was rude and she was disruptive. Never ever had her back in a class. And also, you know, I ask people, why do you want to do this work? And if somebody says, oh, I want to earn a living, then I don't see them again either, because this work is not about that I'm earning a living. It's about doing it for the love. It's about doing it because you want to help and heal people, because you've got a calling, a vocation, whatever you want to call it, but it's not about, oh, I want to earn a living. So, you know, remember that and think about that. Bella, does somebody want to use me as a voice? They probably do. The person who's tickling my feet under the table, probably. Mark, how lovely to see you. I see you make lots of comments on all my posts, and I'm very grateful for that. So it's lovely to see you on here. Um, why does your mum drive you nuts, Bella? Anyway, okay, so what else are we covering these courses? Yeah, I was going to ask, is your spiritual work your goal or your dream? Is it something that you've just found, or is it something that's always been there with you? And then working with spirit for you, what does that look like? How do you want to make that work? But do you know what? The number of people that say to me, I don't want to be a platform medium, and 2 years down the line they're doing platform mediumship. So it's not what you want, it's what spirit wants from you. And that's why you have to be that open channel, and get yourself out of the way and let them work with you in all the ways that they possibly can. Talk to them before you go to bed as well, and just, oh, how many of you don't sleep properly at night time? Goodness me, I used to feel as if I was running a marathon all night, and I'd wake up in the morning and be so drained and so tired. Well, your mum does know more than you, Bella, because she's older than you to start with. You know what I mean. So I used to feel very, very tired. And somebody said to me, you just ask spirit before you go to bed at night, I don't care what you do with me, but please will you let me wake up rested in the morning? And what was happening was, when my physical body sleeps, my spirit was not sleeping. My spirit was traveling, astral traveling, going into the Akashic records, going into the halls of knowledge, and being taught all the information in the background that I needed. But it was draining. But as soon as I said, let me wake up rested, and whatever you want me to do, I'll do, different kettle of fish altogether. So think about that one as well. Yeah, Mark, I was 7 when I first had them with me. Funny enough, Jackie, who's sitting in the background, she's not an apparition, by the way. She is real. Our grandmother passed when I was 7, so you were a bit younger, weren't you? About 5. And my family moved into the house, and she was there all the time, and it frightened the living daylights out of me. But it took a long, long time for me to adjust, come to terms with that and who she was. But I used to do some very crazy practices to try and keep her out of the way. Yep, you do need to do it, Kelly. Keep popping in and out over the years, and I think, yeah, you need to do it for peace. And if you avoid it, they'll say, hello, come on, don't forget me, and they'll be going ding-a-ling-a-ling in your ear, and they'll be tickling on your toes and doing all sorts of things until they get your attention, and you go, yeah, okay, Val Hood told me blah blah blah. So please remember that. Don't ignore spirit. Oh, Bella, that was probably the weather. My word, yes, I need to ask for the rest too. Ali, please don't forget that. You see, the other thing is, gosh, I'm on a roll here. The other thing is, spirit gets so excited. Now, I say this to students. We are all like beacons of light to the spirit world, and some of us shine brighter than others. And the spirit world's up there going, oh, there's one I can work with, woohoo! And they're in, and they talk, and they hound you, and they'll nag you until you go, yeah, okay. So pay attention to that, and remember how excited they are, and then maybe you should reciprocate that excitement by being just as excited. I know, I've been doing it, I've been seeing them since I was 7, and I'm actually 67 next week, so that's, oh my gosh, that's 60 years. Oh my goodness me, 60 years of seeing and working with spirit, but 30 years of actual doing the work. So it's an awful long time, and it's taken me a long time to accept it the way I have. But for me, it's just like having people in the same room that I will talk to, and I will shout at, and I'll give them a hard time and give them a hug. It's exactly the same as a real person. And we are giving, when we do the readings, we're giving the spirit person and the recipient 5 more minutes of sharing that love and their time. And my lovely student Julie Day coined that phrase a couple of months ago, and it's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Julie. But 5, and if you think about it, if that's all we do is give somebody 5 more minutes to be able to share the love with their loved one from the spirit world. And the same for, you know, sometimes people pass, and they pass unexpectedly, and it gives them 5 more minutes with their loved ones as well. So it's such an incredible thing that we do. So always, is revere the right word, but always be in awe of that as well. So it's not something that you can just, yeah, okay, it's, you know, I do that, because it's something very, very special and very, I want to say reverent. There is something very reverent in this as well. You see a man standing with me too. Oh, that's probably my dad. It could be your dad. Yes, we've got lots of, between Jackie and I, we've got lots of people over in the spirit world that chatter away to us all the time. So, yep, Bella, yep. That's definitely, you have good nights, and that's all good. Karin, I always say it wrong, and I'm sorry. Yeah, lovely, and good to see you on here as well. And I'm hoping that your kayaking and your paddleboarding went well. I want to see the photographs. And I'll come up soon, I promise. So, let me just remind you, I've talked about the courses. All the information about the courses are on my website. There is an application form on there. The discounted time runs out on the 15th of February, so got a week of that, and then afterwards it goes up to full price. But all the courses have to be paid in full by the 5th of March. And I'm going to be talking to each applicant to find out where they think they're at, and then work out where I think they're at. So coming back to Tara's question at the beginning, as I said, everybody thinks, oh, I'm an advanced student, but they're not. I saw that so often, you know, going to courses at the Arthur Finder College, especially on a Paul Jacobs week, and Paul would have 4 tutors, including himself. People would fill out the form and they'd all say, I'm advanced, and he would let them in his class, and they weren't advanced. And it was just such a shame that people don't admit, you know, I'd rather say I'm a beginner and work my way up than say I'm advanced and then, you know, I'm going to say make a fool of myself. They didn't make fools of themselves, but you know, you've got to, like I said, you've got to learn the basics, and then the next stage in basics, and the next stage of basics. So we work our way up. Oh, a voice training course at Elizabeth for platform workers. What a lovely course to do. And it's interesting actually, Lorraine, because I trained as a singer and a musician from the age of 8, and I'm now not doing that, but I'm orchestrating people, and I'm able to stand up on a platform and get my voice to the back of a hall. You know, some people are so quiet and shy and mousy, and they can't do that. And it's, you know, you're not talking to the person next to you, you're talking to the back wall of a hall. So, okay, so Elizabeth Church, Elizabeth Spiritualist Church, look them up, and they are on Facebook. So they're doing a voice training course. Is that with Pat, Lorraine? But anyway, just if anybody wants more information, let me know and I can give you the details. Hello Maria, nice to see you tonight. Oh, Bella's got 2 chunks of amethyst today for my birthday. Oh, that's beautiful. It's not your birthday yet, Bella. Anyway. So 26th of February at 2 p.m, no charge, and not Pat. Okay, so that's Elizabeth Spiritualist Church. Okay, so Christina has said, I don't know whether it was a sign from Spirit, but my next door neighbour's kid said he sees me and my partner being good friends. I looked at him like he did just say that we are partners. Okay. I've read that incorrectly, but children, out of the mouth of babes the truth come, and children see spirit much better than we do, without any of the hang-ups that we have. Rebecca, hello, lovely to see you. Jenny Doherty's voice says her her voice is heard 50 miles away. Do you know what, Jenny, you are gorgeous, gorgeous lady. And I mimic you, and when I saw you work, and I just sat with my jaw on the floor, because your mediumship is brilliant. It is so accurate, and it is done with such I'm just trying to think of the right word. You have that compassion, and you know how to deal with people's grief, but you bring an awful lot of fun and laughter in to the work that you do. Hello, Barry. That's lovely to see you. Hoping to come and see you soon. No, you don't get to see me often enough, and I hope the family's all well. Okay. So early present, I'll agree. Ian, you'll have to agree with me anyway, otherwise you're going to get into trouble. Okay, Mark, I'll speak to you soon. I've got to go now anyway, because it's sort of that time. But my courses are on my website, which is going across the bottom of the screen. If you're not sure, then give me a call or send me an email and I will ring you, okay? And oh, I see what you're saying, Christina. Yeah. Okay, haven't you noticed I'm on mute and you can still hear me? Of course, Ali, because I'm spiritual and I'm using my other senses. Yes, you've got a nice, clear, strong voice as well, and that's very important for doing this work. Okay, I'm going to stop, but don't forget the courses. If you want any information, please let me know. And I'm going to try and do a question and answer. Somebody did ask the question, if I miss a class, can I jump in on another class to make up a class? And I've said absolutely yes. Rebecca, thanks. Looking forward to checking out your info. Yep. Keris, my girl, you should not be so mocking. Keris has just said, can anyone else see the ghost in the background? Keris, it's my cousin. Okay, can't spell tonight. Okay. Okay, lots of love to all of you, and thank you for coming on here tonight. Don't forget the healing. If anybody wants healing, let me know, and I promise you that I will put the healing names in the book, which is here. So Jackie doesn't like to come forward and speak. She likes to sit in the background, but say hello to everybody, please.
Nice to see you all tonight.
There you go. It's not a ghost. It's a real live person. If it was a ghost sitting there, I'd be freaking out. But anyway, so let me know if I can help you in any way. And if I can't, I will direct you to somebody that can. And yeah, talking about my courses again. Sorry, do you want to become one of my spiritual warriors? Because my spiritual warriors is what I'm calling them. I'm going to go out into the world and make a difference with their mediumship and with helping people. And I would love to grow that team. It's been growing over the last couple of years and it's just fabulous. Karen, I know who that is, Ian. So yes, I will make sure that Karen's name is on the list as well for healing. I know she's had a big operation this week, so absolutely. Okay, can you help me every day? I'll always be your friend, Bella. Don't ever worry about that. Okay, so lots of information. As I say, if you need any other information or I can help with anything, please let me know. And I promise you I'll help you wherever I can. So thank you all very, very much for coming on. And we're now going to do the healing. And very important that, let me get the music first, and there it is, Heal the World. Bella's going to put the words up for me, as she always does, the little darling, and let's put that on there. So I want you all to imagine, this is the healing part, and for me this is extremely important. I want you to all imagine that we're all linking hands, so we're all sending out energy with our left hand and receiving it in that circle, around that circle in our right hand, and that energy is flowing all around every single one of us that is connected here this evening, this morning, wherever you are. I don't know about you, but I've got tingles all the way through my body. Bob, absolutely, JC. So sending that lovely healing out, sending it out, expanding it as far as you can. Expand your energy so you're encompassing your state, your town, your city, your country, and then send it further out, send it out across our world, that beautiful healing energy. And remember, the collective power of what we're doing is so powerful. Okay, so we're sending that beautiful energy out right across our universe, our world. We're sending healing out for our animal kingdom because they have no voices of their own, our children because they are our future, our planet because it needs lots and lots of help and healing, for everybody that's been affected by this horrible virus one way or another, and of course our plant kingdom as well, because we can't survive without that. So I'm just going to put the music on, and come on, I'll get this right one day, everybody. There we go. And Bella's put the words up as well for us. I already said that. So sending that love, that energy, that healing. And remember, we may only be a drop in the ocean, but every drop makes the ocean. And I want you to know that everything that you do, no matter how small, makes a difference to not only the people around you, but extended, okay? So we're going to keep that energy going right out across our world, please, and know that it works. I love it when I get comments from people to say, oh, that healing worked and I've got this and this result. So just know that it does work. So please just send that love, and then we'll sing. Hopefully I can sing. I'm very croaky tonight. Ian, heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. You probably all think I'm a nutcase and I don't care. Make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, I can't hear you. Sing as loud as you can. Know that energy is going out. You and for me and the entire human race. There are, if you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Okay, I'm going to fade out the music. Thank you, all of you, for coming in this evening and for sharing your love, sharing your comments, sharing your healing, and sharing your thirst for knowledge about spirit. And don't forget, if there's anything that you want to ask, please let me know. Ian Tamplin, you are so naughty. Smile, you know it makes sense, always. Lorraine, love you heaps and love to each one of you. And please don't forget, if I can help you with anything, then just let me know. Rebecca, thank you so much. Ali, loud voice, I can hear you. And I will see you all next week. But go and have a look at my website, have a look at what's on offer. I'm super excited about the courses that I've got out at the moment. I've worked really hard on making sure that I do things so differently, but I want to make sure that we get these people out there doing the best mediumship that we can. There's too much wishy-washy stuff out there at the moment. Did I say that? Yes. Thank you, Thelma, and thanks, JC. Take care, all of you, and I'll put you on my healing list. I think, JC, I was going to put you on anyway. Okay, but love to each one of you, and I will see you all next week. Bye-bye.